Students, welcome back again to another fascinating poem of Philip Larkin, At Grass. Now, we'll begin this poem today. Let me give you a kind of an introduction to the poem. Now, the title itself, At Grass, indicates so many things, symbolizes so many things. Of course, it's a poem of nature. Apart from that, there is a reflection to so many things. It is a lyric poem and it is divided into 5 stanzas of 6 lines each. The lines are structured with a constant rhyme scheme and the pattern is ABC ABC. Now, the poet chose this particular pattern in order to refer to the regularity of life, particularly that of the horses, which are the main characters of the poem. So, horses are the main character of the poem. Now, see what a beautiful combination it has: grass, nature, and of course, animal. The metrical pattern is also consistent because each line contains 4 sets of 2 beats. The first of these is unstressed and the second stressed. This pattern, I think you might be aware of, is also known as iambic tetrameter. Now, the poem At Grass, the title. At Grass is the title of the poem, and at grass also is a phrase which is generally used to refer to something or someone being retired or put to the side. In this case, it is quite literal, as the race horses have been put to grass and now spend their days grazing. One should read this poem trying to understand that things were not always as they are now. At Grass by Philip Larkin speaks on the fate of 2 famous race horses who have long since left the track and found a new home in a pasture. The poem begins with the speaker looking out over a field and noting how they are almost impossible to see at first. The ambiguity of they matches with the speaker's trouble in actually seeing them. The creatures' references are, of course, the 2 race horses which feature as the main characters of the poem. When at one point they were the center of everyone's attention, now they are only seen by the speaker, and even then he sometimes finds it hard to spot them. So, being in the spotlight once upon a time and now nowhere. He thinks on their past lives at the track and wonder if the memories of fame and acclaim haunt the horses. This line of thinking is quickly dismissed when he takes the time to see how at peace the horses truly are. They move about the pasture quietly and sometimes not at all. These movements are interpreted by Larkin's speaker to be those of joy. So, the horses no longer work for the crowd, nor are they overwhelmed with the sights and sound of the track. So, here we can indicate that the horses had been there, had worked, had been there at the race, and now their lives are completely contrasted to the lives they had been leading. So, of course, when the horses run in the race, they are a center of attraction and attention, and when they have left all these things, they are ordinary creatures where no one pays attention to them. We'll continue with the poem further in the next class. Thank you.